channel. My name's Megan. If you don't know me already, and you have a really exciting video today. I actually picked up a new palette by Revolution, and I've picked up the latest Forever Flawless palette. This is the Flamboyance Flamingo palette. Oh my god, I have just taken a chunk out of one of the shades. It's all up my nail and everything. And this is what the palette looks like. It's an 18 pan eyeshadow palette, super colourful. I've just managed to take a whole chunk out of this shade right here, which I'm a little bit devastated about because I haven't tried it out yet, but never mind. This palette is cruelty free and vegan, which is amazing. And I also picked up a Revolution blush palette. This is the Flamingo one. Part of the collection, and this is what it looks like. Although it is a mini palette, you do get some big pans in that. This just looks so stunning. It just looks amazing, and this is also cruelty free and vegan as well. So for anyone that is new to my channel, welcome. I'd really appreciate it if you considered hitting that subscribe button, and let's get into the video. So I have already primed my eyes, and I've used the Revolution Cut Crease Canvas. Because we're testing out Revolution makeup, I thought I'd use this, and I've used it in the shade Halo. So I will swatch every shade for you, and then we will create some kind of eye look with it. Then we will do the blusher, highlighter things, and then I will tell you my final thoughts. So let's just go ahead and swatch it. I'm so excited. So starting off with the first shade, which is called Flock. And the next shade, which is called Aglow. And the next shade, that's called Inca. The next shade is called Ibis. The next shade is called Fleur, and this is the final shade on the first row, and that's called Plume. I'm so impressed already. So this is the first row swatches. We'll move on to the second row. So the first shade on the second row is called Fancy, and that's what that looks like. And the second shade is called Feather. The next shade is called Coral, and that's what that one looks like. The next shade's called Splendid, and the next one is called Hue. So the final shade on that row is called Flame. So that's what the second row looks like, and let's move on to the third row. Definitely stains a little bit on my skin. The first shade on the third and final row is called Lagoon, and that's what that looks like. The next shade is called Significant. The next shade is called Impress. This is the shade India. The next shade is the shade Breeze. And the final shade in the palette is called Ultra. So let's just dive in, put it on my eyes, see what we can create today. The problem is I want to use all the shades, but I can't create like a really good look using every single shade. So we'll start off with the JS13, which is just a really small kind of firm brush, so any brush will do. But don't know why I'm doing like such a tutorial kind of style video when I'm not a makeup artist. Don't claim to be a makeup artist. I just enjoy makeup, having fun with it, having a go. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. Some looks come out better than others, but I'm giving it a go. I'm going to start off with the shade Flock. I'm just going to put that through my crease because I have really hooded eyes. I like to just like map out my crease so that you can see my lid shade when I have my eyes open as well. I'm not too bothered about getting this shade on my lid because I will probably just end up cutting my crease. So I'm just going to take the JS6 brush and just blend that shade out. Then I'm going to take the shade Coral and I'm going to put that in my crease just to give a little bit of depth on this outer corner. I'm hoping that this shade is going to build up a little bit darker than this. So that's what it's looking like so far. I've got Flock here and then I've got Coral here. I'm not gonna lie, the shades look pretty similar even though they did swatch really different, but still really like it. It looks really pretty. I think I'm gonna take the shade Ultra, which looks like the darkest shade in the palette, and I'm gonna take this on a smaller brush because I'm not gonna lie, darker shades scare me a little bit. So this is what I'm looking like so far. It did take quite a bit of blending to blend that shade in. I'm just going to do the exact same to the other eye and then cut the crease. So just deepened up the other eye and I've cut my crease on this eye. I crease really bad, that's why I've only done one eye so far. And I'm just going to go into the shade Flock. I just dropped my mirror on my palette right into the shade Splendid and now I'm a bit devastated. Not only did I take a chunk out of it with my nail, I've now taken a chunk out of it with my mirror. I'm just using this flat brush. This is the JS11. And then I'm just going to use the shade Coral to try and just blend those together just a little bit more. So I'm going to take some of the NYX glitter primer and I'm going to put that on my lid, and I've just got a little bit on the back of my hand, and then I'm just going to put it on my cut crease. This is a game changer, this stuff. And then we're going to take a flat brush and use the shade Ibis, something like that. So this is what the shade looks like with just the glitter primer. I am going to see if I'm able to intensify this by wetting my brush. I'm not even sure if that made much of a difference. So I'm going to go back into that shade Coral and just pack that colour on. And then the shade Flock. So I'm just going to do the exact same to the other eye, and then we can do the lower lash line and the inner corner. So this is what we're looking like. Both cut creases done. This one has come out a lot better than this one, but this eye is less hooded than this eye. But I did actually do a different technique on this eye to this eye, and I think it's made a big difference, so I'm going to share my little technique just in case it will help someone out. I cut my crease, put the glitter glue on, I used this little teeny brush, clipped into the glittery shade, shimmer shade, and then like packed it on. So dabbed around the cut crease line and then took a bigger brush, bigger flat brush. I'll show you which one I use. I use this one, so but any flat brush will do, and then did downward strokes like Tammy always says to do. Thank you, Tammy, for teaching me that trick. Super helpful. So did these downward strokes, but I didn't go anywhere near that line and it's kept my line dead crisp, and I'm dead proud of myself. This will be the eye that we take the photo with. For the lower lash line, I really still really want to use these, maybe these blues, but this blue definitely, I think. I might do blue on the lower lash line. I think I might just go for it, but I just want to test out some more shades, so I think I am going to use the shades Lagoon and Hue, which are the two blue shades in the palette, on my lower lash line. I think I'm going to risk it. I'll risk it so that you don't have to. So if you don't like it, and if I don't like it, and if it doesn't work, then you don't have to do it. So I think I'm going to go into this shade Hue, and I'm going to focus that on the outer, no I'm not, on the inner third, maybe. Might be half, might be third. That's just after like one dip on a dry brush. This shade is so nice. So I'm gonna try wetting the brush to see if I get a little bit more pigment, which I'm hoping I do. So now I'm going to go in with this shade Lagoon, and then I'm just going to put that on the outer corner. Straight away, this one doesn't seem to be as pigmented as the lighter blue, but it's there, it's nice. For my inner corner, I actually think I'm going to go in with this shade here. I was stuck between this shade and this shade, but I think I'm going to go in with a glow. I'm going to take this on my Morphe 321 brush. So this is the finished eye look, and I kind of really like it. There was one point where I was like, no, Megan, why have you gone in with the blue? You've ruined it, you've ruined it. You've messed everything up, you've ruined your video. But I actually kind of like it because it's super colourful and creative and all things that I'm not. I would have usually gone in with the pinker shades and gone on my lower lash line, or gone with like a deeper pinky shade on my lower lash line, or the brown or something, but I went with blue because I wanted to try the blue shades, and I'm kind of glad that I did. I finished off the eye look with the Barry High Vis liners. These are new. This one's in the shade Riot, which is on my lower lash line. These are amazing. My eyelashes are literally from Poundland, and they're in the style Baby Doll. They look like this. But now I'm desperate to finish off the rest of my base, and I'm going to give this a try. This is the Revolution Flamingo Blush Trio, and this is what the shades look like. This just looks stunning, and I'll just swatch them for you. So this is the first one, this one right here, and it looks like this. That is super pigmented. It is such a beautiful blusher shade. It's so nice. And this is the middle one. That's what that one looks like. Okay, it's such a nice peachy blush. Oh, I'm so excited. And the third shade is this one. Looks like this. It does look really similar to this one, but there is a slight difference. This one is my favourite. I don't know how well it's going to look on my skin tone, but I really want to use it. Which one should I use? Do you know what? I think I might use one on one side and one on the other side. So I think I'm going to try out this one and this one. So let's start off with this one. And I've just literally tapped into it like once, and I'm tapping off all of the excess, just in case it's super pigmented. That is such a pretty blush. I'm gonna get so much use out of this palette. So much use. On this side, I think I'm gonna try that first shade. Oh no. Oh no, look at that. Oh, I like this one. So this is what the blushes look like. This side's got the very first shade in the palette and this side's got the middle shade in the palette. Let me know in the comments down below which side you prefer, which shade you prefer out of all these. I like them both. I'm going to use them both. But I actually think I'm going to put this shade on this side and this shade on this side. Try and match them a bit. This is such a pretty palette. I love it. So for my highlighter, I'm going to go in with the Ofra Samantha March at Start inspired palette, and this is what it looks like. And I'm just going to mix both the shades together. And now I'm just going to finish off my look with some lipstick. So this is the finished look, and I finished off the look with the Revolution Roxaris liquid lipstick in the shade Tokyo. I put a little bit of the shade London in the centre to lighten it a little bit. So my final thoughts, I'm really sorry if you're hearing it banging. We're actually getting some work done in the kitchen and I just can't help it. I can't stop the banging. So my final thoughts on the palette. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. I use 8 shades out of the 18. So I feel like I've tried out loads of the shades, so I'm able to give you a good review. And I love this palette. I love the colour story. I think there's so many different creative looks that you could do. You can just stick to a neutral kind of look with a shimmer, or you can do like a neutral look with like a little bit of a pink shift to it. There's blue looks, gold looks. I think this palette is just so well thought out and the formula is so good. And the palette is £12, which I think is super affordable for an £18 eyeshadow palette. And I would definitely recommend it. The blusher palette, I'm also obsessed with it. So I think this is like a perfect blusher. You've got this like pinky toned one for like when you do a pinky look, and you've got this peachy one for a peachy look. You've got this one that's not as pigmented but still like a peachy shade. And I love a peach blush. I think this is amazing. I am so glad that I picked this up. And this palette is £8 and you get 3 shades, and even though it's a mini palette, the pans are like huge. So yeah, I highly recommend this palette as well. Thank you so much for watching my YouTube video, and make sure you hit that like button if you did enjoy my video, and leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think of my look. And